Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, September 22nd, 2023. Today we're going to recap last night's Thursday Night Football game and look ahead to Sunday's NFL Week 3 matchups. We have college football from last night to talk about, and then we have the weekend's college football slate to go over and pick. MLB this weekend, you have WNBA playoffs on Sunday. And then you have some soccer. We have NHL preseason and actually some regular season getting underway too. NASCAR, news and notes, and the best bet in Fab 5. We'll start with the NFL. Thursday Night Football. It was a predictable outcome. A game that was competitive for, I'd say, 3 quarters or so as the 49ers beat the Giants 30-12. The Giants did not have Saquon Barkley or Andrew Thomas. The 49ers are healthy and they're rocking and rolling. They are 3-0. The Giants drop to 1-2. Brock Purdy did not play great, but his supporting cast was excellent. 25-37, 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones, 22-3, 237 yards and an interception. All right, on to the Sunday slate. So first up, 1 o'clock on CBS, you have the Titans at the Browns. I project Tennessee actually by a half-point favorite, total 40.25. I only accounted for rule-outs and doubtfuls in the lines, and the Browns are giving 3.5, totals 39.5. For this one, I'm taking Tennessee plus the points and plus 160 to win the game outright. Next up, you have on Fox, the Falcons at the Lions. My line is the Lions by 5, total 48. And it's 3-46.5. I'm going to lay the 3 with the Lions. I just think that they're better than Atlanta. And Desmond Ritter's not very good, so I'm going to lay the 3. Next, on Fox, Saints-Packers. I project the Saints by a half, total 42.75. And Green Bay's favored by 1.5, totals 42.5. I'm taking the Saints getting the 1.5 and plus the 102 to win outright. Next, on CBS, Broncos-Dolphins. I project the Dolphins by 9.5, total 48, and we have 6.5 and 47.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Dolphins. I love this pick. I think the Broncos are terrible, so I'm laying the points. Chargers-Vikings, the battle of teams that find ways to lose games that are both 0-2, and this game's on Fox. My projection is Minnesota by 4, total 51 and 7/10. And it is 1.5 and 53.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Vikings because they're home. 4 o'clock on CBS, you have the Panthers at the seat. Oh, wrong game. Patriots-Jets on CBS at 1 o'clock. I was looking at the ESPN app by mistake. I project Patriots by a half, total 40. And it's 2.5 and 36.5. I like the over in this game. I think that the number's low. And there could be a fluky defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. You never know. Bills-Commanders. I project the Bills by 3. Yes, 3, total 45 and 3/10, and it's 6.5 and 43.5. I love the Commanders getting the 6.5. I love it. Nobody's taking the Commanders. Everyone thinks it's a shoo-in that the Bills are going to blow them out. But I'm taking the Commanders getting the points. Texans-Jaguars on Fox. Lions Jaguars 15, total 42 and a 5th. And it's 8.5 and 44.5. I'm laying the points with the Jaguars. They're better than the Texans. Case closed. And they'll bounce back. Next up on CBS, you have the Colts at the Ravens. I project the Ravens by 11, total 43 and 17/20. And we have 8.5 and 44.5. I'm going to lay the 8.5 with the Ravens. They're better than the Colts. No Anthony Richardson in this game, which I even forgot to account for. and he's worth 3 points to the point spread of my projections. So, I'm going to quickly factor that in. I didn't even think of that when I was going through the projection. So now it's Ravens 14. So I really love the Ravens in this spot. Now to the 4 o'clock slate on CBS. A terrible 4 o'clock window. If you want to skip the 4 o'clock games, this is the week to do so. Panthers, Seahawks. I have Seahawks 16, total 45 and 11/20. And it's 6-42. I'm going to lay the 6 with Seattle. That is just super low. Next is Bears, Chiefs on Fox. This is the Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen game, which it shouldn't be. I project the Chiefs by 15, total 45 and 13/20. And it's 12.5 and 48.5. So the question is, do I go lay the lumber with the Chiefs, or do I take the under? I'm going to take the under here because I haven't taken an under yet. And I think 48.5 is high. Cowboys, Cardinals on CBS. I project Dallas by 14.5, total 45 and 3/20, and it's 12.5 and 42.5. So I'm going to take the over in this game. I just think that the Cowboys could do that by themselves. And Arizona has actually scored some points. And no Trayvon Diggs for Dallas. So if this game's 30-20 or 37-20, that's a win. Easy. And then last but not least, Sunday Night Football. Steelers at the Raiders. I project Pittsburgh by 5, total 42 and 7/20. And Vegas is favored by 2.5, total 43. It's ridiculous that Vegas is favored. This team stinks. They're awful. Jimmy Garoppolo's always hurt. And they're basing this because the 49ers kicked the Steelers' ass in week 1. And the Browns probably should have beaten the Steelers if it wasn't for a couple of turnovers in the second game. But that doesn't mean that the Steelers should be underdogs against a team that probably should be tanking. So give me the Steelers getting the 2.5 points and plus 116 to win the game straight up. All right, now I'll move on to college football. We have one result to talk about from yesterday. And that was Georgia State defeating Coastal Carolina 30-17. I gave out Georgia State the cover, and they won outright. I probably should have bet them yesterday, but I did not. We have a couple of games tonight, 4 to be exact. 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, you have Wisconsin against Purdue. So a Big Ten game there. Projections. Wisconsin 15, total 51 and 4/5. And we have 5.5 and 54.5. I'm laying the 5.5 with Wisconsin. That is way too low. 7:30 ESPN, NC State, Virginia. I have NC State 2.5, total 50.25, and it's 9.5 and 47.5. I'm going to take Virginia getting the points. That's way too high. Mountain West action, 10:30 on CBS Sports Network, Boise State, San Diego State. I have Boise by a half, total 47 and 13/20. It's in 6.5 and 45.5. I'm going to take San Diego State getting the points. And I think they can win outright. They're plus 198 to win outright. And on Fox Sports 1 at 10:30, I have Air Force, San Jose State, another Mountain West game. I have Air Force 4.5, total 47 and 17/20. And we have 5.5 and 46.5. Very, very close projections. I'm going to take a slight over. All right, Saturday games. First up, 12 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. You have Rutgers at number 2, Michigan. I have Michigan by 18, total 45. I know it's way higher than that. And it's 24 and 44. So it's not as high as I thought, but I'm going to take Rutgers to cover and maybe Michigan wins this game like 30-10 or something like that. Michigan never hasn't covered really all year. Next up, 12 o'clock on ABC, number 4, Florida State at Clemson. My projections, Florida State 2.5, total of 59 and 13/20, and it is 1.5 and 55.5. I'm going to take the over in that spot. On Fox, number 16, Oklahoma at Cincinnati. And by the way, when was the last time Clemson was a home underdog? Maybe that Notre Dame game from several years back. I want to say it's like 2015 or something like that. But yeah, that's crazy. So Oklahoma, Cincinnati. I have Oklahoma 15, total 59 in 9/20, and it is 13.5 and 57.5. I'm going to go with the slight over. On the ACC Network, Army, Syracuse. I have Syracuse 17, total 52 and 3/4. And it's 13.5 and 49.5. That's a hard one. But I'm going to lay it with Syracuse. On ESPN, Auburn, Texas A&M. I have Pick'em and 53 and 3/5. And it is 8.5 and 51.5. That's way too high. I'm taking Auburn getting the points. If Texas A&M wins by 7, Auburn covers. Western Kentucky, Troy, and ESPNU. I have Western 7.5, total 57, and it is Troy 3.5, total 58.5. I'm gonna take Western getting the points and plus 152 outright. SEC Network, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. I have Kentucky 11.5, total 52 and 17/20. And it's 13.5 and 50.5. I'm going to take Vanderbilt the cover. ESPN2, Virginia Tech, Marshall. I have Vatek by 10, total 43 and 11/20, and it's Marshall 4.5, total 41.5. I don't understand. Is Virginia Tech bad? Did I misevaluate them? Probably, but I'm going to go back to the well one more time, getting 4.5 and plus 168 outright. Fox Sports 1, SMU, TCU. So I'm going to project here TCU 16.5, total 62 and 3/5. And we got here, why can't I find this game? There it is, 6.5 and 62.5. That's way too low. I'm laying the 6.5 with TCU. Tulsa in Northern Illinois on CBS Sports Network. Hang on one second. I actually made a mistake. I had TCU only by 1.5, total 62 and 3/5. I knew something wasn't right, so I'm going to change my pick. I'll do a rare thing on the podcast. I'm going to take SMU getting the points. I knew something was off with that one. Tulsa, Northern Illinois, CBS Sports Network. I have Northern 10.5, total 56 and 11/20, and it is Northern 3.5, total 54.5. Everybody loves Tulsa. I'm laying it with Northern Illinois. More action, Western Michigan and Toledo 130. I have Toledo 28.5, total 52 and 7/20, and it is 21.5 and 53.5. I'm going to lay the 21.5 with Toledo. 2 o'clock, Georgia Southern, Ball State. I have Ball State as a 5-point dog, total 55 and 9/10, and it is 6.5 and 60.5. I'm going to take the under. All right, here we go. 3:30, ABC. Number 19, Colorado. Number 10, Oregon. I have Oregon by 10, total 67 and 9/10. And it's a whopping 21 and 70.5. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm taking Colorado, getting 21. I did not expect myself to be on Colorado, but here we are. Colorado won't win. They'll stay within the number. Deion is just a monster. On Fox at 3:30, number 22 UCLA, number 11 Utah. I have Utah by 8, total 53 and a tenth. And this could change in terms of a projection because of the status of Cam Rising, who's worth a lot to the point spread. He's worth, I think, 5 points. And we have 5.5 and 52.5. I'm going to lay to 5.5 with Utah, assuming that Cam Rising plays. CBS, number 15 Ole Miss, number 13 Alabama. I have Pick'em in 58 and 7/20ths, and Alabama's giving 7, total 55.5. I'm going back to the well, going against Alabama for the second time in 3 weeks. I'm taking Ole Miss getting 7. They're plus 210 outright, and I'd be willing to take that as well. Number 18 Duke at UConn, CBS Sports Network. I have Duke 19.5, total 47 and 3/10. And it is 21.5 and 44.5. I'm going to take the over. On ESPN2, you have number 20 Miami at Temple. I have Miami 18.5, total 51 and 3/4. And it is 23.5 and 46.5. So 5-point edge on Temple and a over 5-point edge on the over. So I'm gonna go with the over. Feel better about that anyway. FAU Illinois on the Big Ten Network. I have Illinois 19, total 49, and it is 15.5 and 45.5. So I have a 3.5-point edge both ways. So that is pretty funny. So here I'm going to just take the over. I like it a little better. On NBC, you have Maryland at Michigan State. My projection is Maryland by 15, total 51 and 7/20ths, and it is trying to find the game here. 7.5 and 52.5. That's ridiculous. I'm laying to 7.5 with Maryland. Michigan State's a mess, and they get favoritism in the market because of the golden days when they used to upset Ohio State and Michigan. On the Big Ten Network, Louisiana Tech, Nebraska. I have Tech by 7.5, total 54.25. And we have 20.5 in favor of Nebraska, total 47.5. That's ridiculous. Give me Louisiana Tech getting the points, and they're plus 980 outright. Nebraska stinks. BC, Louisville, ACC Network. I have Louisville 11.5, total 51 and 13/20ths, and it's 14.5 and 55.5. So I'm going to take the under. Here's a fun one. ESPN 3:30, BYU, Kansas. My line's Kansas 10.5, total 59 and a fifth. And we got here 9.5 and 54.5. I'm going to take the over. Texas Tech, West Virginia. West Virginia by 1, total 59 and 3/10. And Texas Tech's giving 5.5, total 54.5. I think this line is because of West Virginia's quarterback being injured, but I don't think West Virginia's quarterback is or their original starter is as good as other starters in the Big 12 anyway. That crowd's going to be ruckus. I think it's easier to play in Morgantown during the day than at night. It's the case for Texas Tech, but Texas Tech finds ways to lose games. So give me West Virginia getting the points and plus 184 to win outright. I like them as an underdog to win this week. New Mexico, UMass. My line's New Mexico 8.5, total 50 and 3/20ths. And it's UMass 3.5, total 50.5. I don't get why UMass is favored. Give you New Mexico plus the points, plus 146 outright. Texas A&M Commerce, Old Dominion. That line's not posted, but I have Old Dom 18, total 49.25. Ohio Bowling Green, so Maction. I have Ohio by 9, total 48 and 3/4. And it's 12.5 and 44.5. I like the over. Delaware State and Miami of Ohio. I have Miami of Ohio by 38, total 46 and 3/20. Nothing's posted there. Next, 4 o'clock SEC Network, UTSA number 23, Tennessee. I have UTSA by a half, total 56 and 11/20. UTSA, I think, has been the most disappointing team, arguably, in all of the country so far. Tennessee's giving a whopping 21.5, total 58.5. That's crazy. Like, is UTSA's quarterback injured or something? Is Frank Harris hurt? Oh, he's a game-time decision. Oh. Okay. But if he doesn't play, that's like 4 or 5 points. So then Tennessee would be projected as a 4.5-point favorite. So I'm taking UTSA plus the points anyway. They're plus 920 to win outright. Fox Sports 1, Oklahoma State, Iowa State. I have Iowa State by 5, total 42 and 3/4. And it's 3.5 and 35.5. I love that over. That's way too low. Rice, South Florida. I have Rice by 10, total 60 and 4/5. And it's 2.5 and 57.5. I'm laying the 2.5 with Rice. Eastern Michigan and Jacksonville State at 5 o'clock. I have Eastern by 4.5, total 50 and 9/20. And it is Jacksonville State by 6.5, total 53.5. Give me Eastern plus 6.5 and plus 205 outright. That's a lot of points. Central Michigan, South Alabama. I have South Alabama 18.5, total 53 and 2/5. And it's 16.5 and 48.5. I like the over. Gardner-Webb, East Carolina. Nothing's posted yet, but I have Gardner by 4, total 57 and 9/20. So that's your FCS over FCS, or FCS over FBS upset pick of the week. 6:30 Liberty, FIU. I have Liberty 8.5, total 54 and 9/20, and it's 10.5 and 54.5. I'm taking FIU getting the points, although I don't love it. Georgia Tech Wake on the CW network. I have Wake 24, total 58.25, and it's 3.5 total 6. That's insane. Why is Wake giving 3.5? That is the worst line of the year. Give me Wake minus the points. 7 o'clock, ESPN, Arkansas, number 12, LSU. This is the Fowler-Herb Street game. LSU I have by 5.5, total 61 and 2/5. And it's 17.5 and 54.5. Give me Arkansas getting the points. They'll hang around. Here's a fun one on Fox at 7 o'clock. Number 14, Oregon State. Number 21, Washington State. I have Wazoo by 3, total 56 and 1/5. And it's Oregon State by 3, total 58.5. Give me Wazoo plus the 3 and plus 128 outright. That crowd is going to be ruckus in Pullman. ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. Charlotte at number 25, Florida. I have Florida 19.5, total 54.5. And it is 27.5 and 48.5. I'm going to take Charlotte getting the points. Just to cover. Sim Houston. I have Houston 12.5, total 44 and 13/20. And Houston is giving 12.5, total is 37.5. I like the over a lot. That's low. Colorado State, Middle Tennessee. I have Middle by 7, total 56 and 3/20. And it's 2.5 and 51.5. So that's a hard one. And I'm going to go with the over. Pac-12 Network, Arizona, Stanford. I have Zona by 5, total 56 and 7/10. And it is 12.5 and 58.5. I'm going to take Stanford getting the points. I know that's a ridiculous play, you may think, but that's way too high for Arizona. Nichols Tulane's not posted, but I have Tulane 27.5, total 52.5. A sneaky good group of 5 game on CBS Sports Network, App State, Wyoming. I have Wyoming by a half, total 57 and 7/10. And Wyoming tipping 2.5, total 42.5. I love the over, and that game is way too low. App State can score. Southern Miss, Arkansas State. I have Arkansas State by 3, total 52. And Southern Miss is giving 5.5, totals 48.5. That's ridiculous. Give me Arkansas State getting the points at plus 98 outright. Nevada, Texas State. I have Texas State by 11.5, total 56 and 9/10. And it's 17.5 and 59.5. I'm going to take Nevada plus the points, the cover. 7:30 ESPN said UAB at number 1 Georgia. I have Georgia by 30, total 52 and 5th. And it is 42.5 and 54.5. I'm going to take UAB just to cover. On ABC, number 3 Texas at Baylor. This is probably the Sean McDonough game. I have Texas 15.5, total 52 and 4/5, and it's 14.5 and 49.5. I'll take the over. The game of the weekend. That's right, the game of the weekend. Not just in the NFL, but in college has this honor this week. This is a great game. It's number 6 Ohio State at number 9 Notre Dame. 7:30 NBC. They should put Mike Tirico on the call for this, but I don't think they will because he's going to be in Vegas prepping for the NFL. So it's probably going to be Chris Collinsworth's kid, which is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Or will Noah Eagle be on this game, which would be a lot of fun too. This should be Noah Eagle. Notre Dame I have favored by 2, total 55.5. Notre Dame, this is now or never for this school. They never beat good teams like this in the regular season. That Clemson game is an asterisk because Trevor Lawrence had COVID. If Trevor Lawrence plays in that game, Clemson probably wins. So that's a game that we don't talk about because of that alone. That it was a wonk year. That game doesn't count. Notre Dame needs to win this game, or else they're going to be looked upon as a fraud in terms of a national title contender. Ohio State's giving 3, totals 55.5. Give me the Irish getting the 3 and plus 125 for all the reasons I said. Now or never, Notre Dame. Now or never. On CBS primetime for the Big Ten, number 24, Iowa at number 7, Penn State. I have Penn State 7.5, total 45, or 10.5, total 45 and 11/20, and it is 14.5 and 40.5. I'm over. Like, Penn State should do that by themselves. The Big Ten Network, Indiana. I have Indiana 1.5, total 47 and 9/10, and it is 17 and 46.5, giving Akron getting the points. I don't think Indiana's good. ESPNU, Memphis, Missouri from the Dome at America's Center in St. Louis. I have Missouri by 7, total 53 and 13/20. And we have 6.5 and 51.5. I am going to go with the over. Big Ten Network, Minnesota, Northwestern. I have Minnesota 17.5, total 39 and 4/5. And it's 11.5 and 38.5. I'm going to lay 11 with Minnesota. Mississippi State, South Carolina on the SEC Network. I have SC by 5, total 55 and 9/20, and SCS in South Carolina. And it's 6.5 and 46.5. I'm going to take the over. Buffalo, Louisiana. I have Louisiana by 14, total 59 and 3/10. And it's 9.5 and 57.5. I'm going to lay the 9.5 with Louisiana. UCF, Kansas State on Fox Sports 1 at 8 o'clock. I have Kansas State 7.5, total 53 and 2/5, and it is 4.5 and 52.5. I'm going to lay the 4.5 with Kansas State. On the ACC Network, number 17 UNC at Pitt. My line is at UNC 15.5, total 54 and 13/20. Or I'm sorry, 3/20. I read that wrong. And it's 7.5 and 50.5. I'm laying the points at UNC. That is way too low. Pitt's not very good. All right, so 9 o'clock. UNLV, UTEP. I have UTEP 13.5, total 51 in the quarter, and it is UNLV 2.5, total 50.5. I'm going to go back to the well with UTEP again and plus 112 outright. Number 5, USC at Arizona State, 10:30 on Fox. I have USC by 18, total 60 3/5. And it's 34.5 and 62.5. I'm going to take ASU plus the points, the cover. And I know they're on their 7th string quarterback or whatever. But all USC has to do is win 50-20 and we're good. On ESPN, Pac-12 After Dark, Cal at number 8, Washington. Great game. I think this could be a good one. I have Washington 18.5, total 56 3/4, and it is 20.5 and 59.5. I am very inclined to take the under, so I'm going to go with that. Like, I wouldn't be inclined to take the under, so I really like the under. Kent State, Fresno State on CBS Sports Network. I have Fresno 24, total 53 2/10. And it's 27.5 and 48.5. I am going to take the over. And then last but not least, at midnight, New Mexico State, Hawaii. I have Hawaii as a 12-point dog, total 56 and 9/20. And then they're favored by 3, total 57.5. Like, I don't get the Hawaii hype. I don't get it. Like, is Mexico State's quarterback hurt? Like, then why is that line that? Diego Pava is not hurt, so... Or Pavia. I'm taking the Mexico State plus 3 and plus 130 outright. All right, that was a long segment. All right, now move on to Major League Baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the weekend. We have time to give out some picks, so we'll do it. Rays over the Angels 5-4. Brewers over the Cardinals 6-0. Braves over the Nats 10-3. Yanks over the Jays 5-3. Guardians over the Orioles 5-2. Phils over the Mets 5-4. Pirates over the Cubs 8-6. Tigers over the A's 7-3. Dodgers over the Giants 7-2. All right, 2:20 this afternoon, Rockies, Cubs. The Cubs need these games. Must win. Noah Davis, Jameson Taillon. Cubs are minus 15. Rocks plus 180. Over under 9. Minus 10 each way. Rocks plus 1.5 is minus 111. Cubs minus 1.5 is minus 108. I like the over a lot in that game. 6:30, Brewers, Marlins. Huge game for both. Corbin Burns, TBD. Line's not posted yet, but if the total is less than 8, I'll take the over. And if it's higher than 9, I'll take the under. Pirates, Reds. Big games for the Reds. Luis Ortiz, Andrew Abbott. I don't see that one posted yet either. But if the total is anything less than 9, give me the over. Blue Jays, Rays, huge game for both teams. Chris Bassett, Tyler Glasnow. And this is a series that could very well decide 2 of my futures that I have as well. The Rays are minus 158. The Blue Jays are plus 134. Over under 7.5. Over is minus 115. Under's minus 105. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 160. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 132. I'm going to take the Blue Jays outright plus 134. Bounce back spot. 7 o'clock, D-backs, Yankees. Big games for the Diamondbacks. Brandon Pfaadt and Luke Weaver. Pick 'em, minus 180 each way. Over under 8, minus 110 each way. D-backs minus 1.5 is plus 152. Yanks plus 1.5 is minus 184. I like the over, although D-backs and the over is a lot of fun. But that feels like an over game to me. Braves, Nats. Charlie Morton, Patrick Corbin. Braves minus 255, Nats plus 210, over under 9, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 146, Nats plus 1.5 is plus 132. I like the over in that one as well. Apple TV Plus, Mets, Phils. Tyler McGill and Taijuan Walker. Phils minus 162, Mets plus 136, over under 9, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 154, Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 128. I'm going over as well here. Orioles, Guardians. Dean Kremer and Shane Bieber. Oh, Shane Bieber's back for the Guardians. Whoo! That's a good way to spoil a pennant race or division title. The Guardians are slight favorites, minus 116. Orioles are minus 102, over under 8. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. O's minus 1.5 is plus 164. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 200. O's need a game. I'm taking them minus 102, although they are favored on the run line. White Sox, Red Sox. Touki Toussaint and then Chris Sale against his old team. Boston minus 15, White Sox plus 180, over under 9.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 118. Red Sox minus 1.5 is minus 102. For this one, I like the over 2. Like a lot of baseball overs. Mariners, Rangers at 8. Bryce Miller, Dane Dunning. Rangers minus 126. Mariners plus 108. Over under 9. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. M's plus 1.5 is minus 194. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 160. Monster games here. I like the under. This is another one that's going to decide a future. I might hedge and go bet the Mariners personally to hedge the Rangers to make the playoffs bet. But I like the under in this game to give out for the podcast. Angels, Twins. Davis, Daniel, and Pablo Lopez. Twins minus 275. Angels plus 225. Over under 8.5. Over is money. Unders minus 132. Angels plus 1.5 is plus 106. Twins minus 1.5 is minus 128. Wow, so the Angels are being priced like they're the Athletics here. Holy crap. Give me the over at even money. Royals, Astros. Cole Reagans, Framber Valdez. Astros minus 230, Royals plus 190, over under 8, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 114. Red Sox minus 1.5 is minus 105. Cole Reagans has actually been pretty good for the Royals. I'm going to take them on the run line, plus 1.5 at minus 114. 9:30, Tigers, A's. Really bad games. Sawyer, Gibson, Long, and Ken Waldichuk. Tigers minus 146, A's plus 124, over under 8, overs minus 1, unders minus 112. Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 116, A's plus 1.5 is minus 140. I like the over a lot. I don't think this Gibson Long guy is any good. Cards, Padres, two teams that are out of it. Dakota Hudson and Matt Waldron. Padres minus 174, Cards plus 146, over under 9, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 146, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 122. I like the over in that one. Last but not least, Apple TV Plus, Giants, Dodgers. Sean Manaea, TBD. Well, it says Caleb Ferguson on FanDuel. Dodgers minus 172, Giants plus 144, over under 9, overs even money, unders minus 122. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 146, Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 122. I'm going to go Dodgers run line because they're just better than the Giants at this point. All right. We're just going to go over the weekend slate. We're not going to do pitching matchups. All right. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Braves, Nats, D-backs, Yankees. 2 o'clock, Angels, Twins. 2:20, Rockies, Cubs. 4 o'clock, Mets, Phils. Tigers, A's. White Sox, Red Sox. Brewers, Marlins. Blue Jays, Rays. 6 o'clock, Orioles, Guardians. 6:30, Pirates, Reds. 7 o'clock, Mariners, Rangers. Orioles, Astros. 8:30, Cardinals, Padres. 9 o'clock, Giants, Dodgers. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Mets, Phillies, Blue Jays, Rays, 1:30, D-backs, Yankees, Braves, Nats, White Sox, Red Sox, Orioles, Guardians, Brewers, Marlins, Pirates, Reds, 2 o'clock, Angels, Twins, Royals, Astros, 2:20, Rockies, Cubs, 2:30, Mariners, Rangers. I don't know why that's not Sunday Night Baseball. It's probably the Dodgers because it's favoritism towards the Dodgers. 4 o'clock, Tigers, A's, Cardinals, Padres, and yup, it is Sunday Night Baseball. That's ridiculous. That's like Yankees, Red Sox being on Sunday Night Baseball at this point of the season. That's ridiculous. I understand the Dodgers are better than both the Yankees and the Red Sox this year, but that's what that's like at this point in the season. That's how bad the Giants are to me. I think the Mariners and the Rangers got robbed of Sunday Night Baseball. That's a much better game and were meaningful. And I don't think they would ever dare to put the Blue Jays on Sunday Night Baseball, but who knows? But, yeah, they went with the rivalry with the team that's out of it against a team that's all in. All right, the WNBA playoffs. We have some game ones to preview and predict, but I'm going to make picks for the series first. So, the first of the semifinals, it's an Eastern Conference matchup. It's the Sun and the Liberty. Best player in the series is Breanna Stewart. The better coach is Sandy Brambello. And the better team all around is the Liberty. I like the Sun. I think the Sun are a good team. I thought they were potentially primed to get upset in the first round, but I stood corrected. So it's a best of 5. Like I said, it should be a really, really fun series with Stewie and Brianna Ionescu, and on the other side, Dewana Bonner, and Alyssa Thomas. So, they have their big 2, but the Liberty are just better and deeper. I'm going to take the Liberty in 4 games. And then the Wings and the Aces, you got a Western Conference matchup. Best player in the series is definitely Aja Wilson. Enrique Angumbali, I think, can match her a little bit. But the Aces are deeper with Wilson, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Alicia Clark. And then on the other side with Dallas, you have Angumbali, who's awesome. Saboli's awesome. McCohen's pretty good, too. And Saboli obviously won the most improved player this year, which is good for her. I think this also is a 4-game series, but I got to go with the Aces to set up the dream final between the Aces and the Liberty. So, Liberty in 4 over the Sun, Aces in 4 over the Wings. And now to the game picks, 1 o'clock on ESPN. You have the Sun, the Liberty, Ryan Rucco, Rebecca Lobo should be on the call. They should be calling all the Liberty playoff games. And the guy that should be the voice of the Liberty and Ryan Rucco, quite frankly, since they're on the Yes Network and Ryan works for them. Liberty are giving 6.5, total 162.5. I like the over. I think that total's low. And then 5 o'clock ESPN 2, you have the Wings and the Aces. The Aces are giving 10.5, totals 174.5. I'm going to go with the under in that game. I think that is a high total. And I think the Aces can play a little defense. So I'm going to take the under in the Aces-Wings game 1. All right, now I'll move on to soccer. We have a lot of soccer to talk about as we get ready for the weekend. All right, we'll start with Liga MX. So 9 o'clock, you have Athletic San Luis and Mazatlan. Just want to pull up the odds real quick. San Luis minus 150, Mazatlan plus 360. The draw is 3-1. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 108. Juarez Atlas. Juarez plus 155, Atlas plus 175. The draw is plus 210. I'm going to go with the draw plus 210. And 11 o'clock at Puebla and UNAM. Puebla plus 210, UNAM plus 105. Draw plus 270. I'm going with Pumas at plus 105. That is kind of a discount on them. All right, Saturday, 9 o'clock, Guadalajara and Pachuca, Leon and Tijuana, and 11 o'clock, Tigres, Monterrey, and then Sunday, 2 o'clock, Toluca, America, Cruz Azul, Querétaro at 6, and 10 o'clock, Santos and Necaxa. Premier League. Saturday, 10 o'clock, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Luton Wolves, Man City, Nottingham Forest, 12:30, Brentford, Everton, and 3 o'clock, Burnley and Man United. And then Sunday, 9 o'clock, Arsenal, Tottenham, Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Liverpool, West Ham, and 11:30 of Sheffield United and Newcastle. All right, German Bundesliga, we have a game today, 2:30 of Stuttgart and Darmstadt. Stuttgart's 3-1 favorite. Darmstadt's 7-1 as a dog. The draw is plus 420. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 126. Saturday, 9:30, Union Berlin and Offenheim, Bayern, Bochum, Dortmund, Wolfsburg, Gladbach, RB Leipzig, Augsburg, Mainz, and 12:30, Bremen and Cologne. And then Sunday, 9:30, Leverkusen and Heidenheim, and 11:30, Frankfurt and Freiburg. La Liga, we have a game today, 3 o'clock on ESPN, Deportes, Alaves and Athletic. Athletic is plus 105, Alaves plus 310. The draw is 2-1. This is an interesting one. as Olives is a pretty big road favorite. And I think that Bilbao is being overlooked here a little bit. So I'm going to go with the draw 2-1. All right, Saturday, 8 o'clock, Girona, Mallorca, 10:15, Osasuna, Sevilla, 12:30, Barcelona, Celta Vigo, 3 o'clock, Almeria, Valencia. And then Sunday, 8 o'clock, Real Sociedad, Getafe, 10:15, Real Villarreal, 12:30, Las Palmas, Granada, Betis, Cadiz, and 3 o'clock, Atletico and Real Madrid. Serie A. We have 2 games today. 12:30 of Salernitana and Frosinone. Salernitana plus 150. Frosinone plus 190. The draw is plus 210. I'm going to go with the draw plus 210. And it's 245 Lecce and Genoa. Lecce plus 140. Genoa plus 210. Draw plus 210. I'm going with Lecce plus 140. Saturday, 9 o'clock, Milan, Verona, 12 o'clock, Sassuolo, Juventus, and 2:45, Lazio, Monza. Sunday, 6:30, Empoli and Inter Milan, 9 o'clock, Atalanta and Cagliari, Udinese, Fiorentina, Bologna, Napoli, and 2:45, Torino and AS Roma. League One today, 3 o'clock, you have Monaco and Nice. I'm just going to pull up those odds really quick. Monaco plus 125, Nice 2-1, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with the draw plus 250 as a ballsy pick. 11 o'clock, Nantes and Lorient, and 3 o'clock, Brest and Lyon. Sunday, 7 o'clock, Metz and Strasbourg, 9 o'clock, Le Havre, AC and Clermont Foot, Lens and Toulouse, 11 o'clock, Montpellier and Rennes, and 2:45, PSG and Marseille. Dutch Eredivisie. We have one game today, 2 o'clock. You have the go-ahead Eagles and Fortuna. The go-ahead Eagles are favorite plus 115. Fortuna plus 195. Draw plus 240. I'm going with the go-ahead Eagles at home at plus 115. Saturday, 10:30, FC Volendam and Heracles. 12:45, NEC and FC Utrecht. 2 o'clock, Almere City and PSV. 3 o'clock, Heerenveen and Ex-Glazier. Sunday, 6:15, Sparta and Vitesse. 8:30, Ajax and Feyenoord. 10:45, PEC Zwolle and AZ Alkmaar. And RKC Waldwijk and FC Twente. Next, English League Championship. Today, 3 o'clock, you have Birmingham and QPR. Birmingham minus 125, QPR plus 350, draw plus 240. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 112. All right, big day Saturday, 10 o'clock, Ipswich, Blackburn, Leeds, Watford, Leicester, Bristol City, Borough, Southampton, Plymouth, Norwich City, Rotherham, Preston, Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday, and West Brom, Millwall. Sunday, 7 a.m., Stoke and Hull, and 10 o'clock, Sunderland and Cardiff. Women's Soccer League. We do not have that this weekend, amazingly enough. USL, Saturday, 6:30, Loudoun, Louisville, 7 o'clock, Pittsburgh, Mexico, 7:30, Charleston, Tulsa, Detroit, Hartford, Tampa, Memphis, 8 o'clock, Colorado, Sacramento, 8:30, San Antonio, Orange County, 9:30, El Paso, Phoenix, and 10 o'clock, Oakland, Monterey Bay. And then Sunday, 5 o'clock, Indy, Rio Grande, San Diego, Vegas at 6, and 6:30, Birmingham and Miami. And MLS this weekend. Saturday, Atlanta, CF Montreal, DC Red Bulls, Cincy Charlotte, NYC FC Toronto. Oh, how about this? Philly hosting LAFC, the final rematch. Woo! We saw that a couple times this season, and none of them went well for Philly. So this is the Union's opportunity to really prove that they can hang with LAFC. Although the best they played against them was in the final last year, and they blew the lead at the end. 8:30, Chicago, New England. Dallas, Columbus, Minnesota, St. Louis, KC, Houston, 9:30 Salt Lake, Vancouver, 10:30 Portland, Colorado, and San Jose, Nashville. Sunday, 7:30 Orlando, Miami, and 9:30 Austin and the Galaxy. All right, now move on to the NHL. We have preseason games and regular season games this weekend, amazingly enough. But we'll do the regular season predictions when it gets closer to the real thing. All right. And it's actually tonight at midnight. You have the Kings and the Coyotes. Let's see if there's a lineup for that. There it is. Well, it says it's the Global Series. It doesn't say it's a preseason game. So the Kings are minus 166. Arizona's plus 136. Over under 6. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 120. Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 180. Kings minus 1.5 is plus 140. I'm going to give out the over right off the bat. All right, 2 preseason games tomorrow. 3 o'clock Coyotes, Blues. And Blues Coyotes, I guess it's just a split squad. And then 11:59 the Coyotes against the Kings. And then on the 24th, there's a couple split squads. This is new that the league's doing. 1 o'clock Blue Jackets, Pens. 2 o'clock Sabres, Caps. Leafs, Sens. 3 o'clock Wild, Avs. 5 o'clock NHL Network, Rangers, Bruins. 6 o'clock Coyotes, Stars, Jets, Oilers. 7 o'clock Penguins, Jackets. 8 o'clock Kings, Ducks. Canucks, Flames. And Golden Knights, Sharks. All right, now move on to NASCAR for the weekend. We have no trucks, but we have Xfinity and Cup. So from Texas, the Andes Frozen Custard 300. My pick to win this race, I am going to go with, let's see here. Daniel Hemrick at 25-1. I think that's pretty good. And in the Cup Series on Sunday at 3:30 on USA from Texas, it's the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. And I am going to go with somebody that's had a good season. He's 16-1 to win this race, and that's Chris Buescher. Alrighty, now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. There's a lot that we have to get to, and we'll start with a little bit in football. The NFL could not confirm a punch, that league officials didn't have enough video evidence to eject Trent Williams for the punch. Boy, if he got ejected for that, the Giants probably would have kept that game closer. Because San Francisco's offensive line's outstanding, and Williams is the biggest reason why. And Saquon Barkley clarifies details on his injury prior to Thursday Night Football. High ankle sprain. I mean, I wouldn't rule out the possibility he's back for that game against Seattle, because he literally has a week and a half off now. The Giants have a week and a half off now. It gives them some time to get him and Andrew Thomas back in the lineup. And Seattle's not very good. So if you're the Giants, that's kind of a must-win on Monday night next week. And 49ers did not have Brandon Ayuk, who's nursing a shoulder injury. They need him. He's not even one of their best 3 offensive players. And then Trent Williams punched Ashawn Robinson. I just forgot to mention that part. Daniel Jones. A terrible primetime stat. 1-11. He's probably the new Andy Dalton, Kirk Cousins auto bet against in primetime. and then 0-8 as a double-digit underdog. I mean, they're only double-digit underdogs when guys are injured or if they're playing like great super teams like Mahomes and the Chiefs and then Brady and the Bucs on Monday Night Football back then. But those are ugly stats, and some of them are fluky because let's be honest, Dexter Lawrence doesn't go offsides. The Giants win that game in D.C. a couple years ago. That would have been a primetime win for Daniel Jones, and he played well in that game. And then the other game they played against Washington in primetime, they won. And that was the one win. And it was the biggest win of his career, in my opinion, to this date. So it is a brutal stat, yes. But some of those games, you could argue, players injured or coincidentally against the great teams we've seen in the league over the years, like the Brady Bucs and Mahomes Chiefs, this 49ers team, and then fluky offside bad call on Dexter Lawrence 2 years ago. And I think that counts that Eagle playoff game kind of too. And maybe it does. Maybe it's just regular season. So, some football injuries. Derek Stingley Jr. likely out 6 to 8 weeks with a hamstring injury. So, strong candidate to be placed on the IR. That's brutal for the Texans. We talked about Bryce Young missing a couple of games potentially with an ankle injury. Anthony Richardson to sit against the Ravens with a concussion. But the big story, we alluded to it in the football picks. Trayvon Diggs out for the season. Torn ACL. Absolutely brutal for the Cowboys. Their defense that we thought was so vaunted is not vaunted anymore because of this injury. And I understand they have Gilmore still. I understand they still have DeMarcus Lawrence. They have a lot of sexy names on defense, but it is worse now that the guy that gets a ton of interceptions in Trayvon Diggs is gone. And also, more bad news for the Cowboys. Tyler Biadasz having an MRI after hurting his hamstring in practice. He's questionable for the game against the Cardinals. And a Colts rookie running back, Evan Hull, placed on IR with a torn meniscus. That's brutal for them. Minkah Fitzpatrick defends Nick Chubb. He says he wishes speedy recovery, but wouldn't change tackle attempt. The Bears had to come out and defend Justin Fields after Justin Fields made those comments. Tyreek Hill calls out Micah Parsons as he looks forward to shutting down Parsons' Cub comments. So you have the best linebacker in the league or best pass rusher in the league and the best receiver in the league arguably going at it right there. Micah Parsons tweeted the Trayvon Diggs, and then Diggs obviously made a statement after the injury as well. Now we'll go to baseball. The Rays call up number 6 prospect Junior Caminero from AA. That is a ballsy move by the Rays. I think they're seeing what they have now that they have clinched a playoff berth and whatnot. And they're also going for an AL East crown. They're going for an AL East crown. I'm not saying that they're going to get it. I really hope they don't because I have an Orioles ticket from May. But let's be honest, if the Rays win this division, it's because of that great start they had. But they always say that it doesn't matter how you start, it matters more how you finish. But I'm going to look at that great start and say, oh, that's why they won that division. They split with the Orioles, which I thought they had to beat the Orioles, but they split with them. And they gained the game on Baltimore last night because Baltimore lost to Cleveland. But we'll see. And now the Rays have a hard series against the Blue Jays coming up. So we'll see how that goes. The Mets are prioritizing Pete Alonso as the Brewers and other teams have inquired, but they plan on keeping Alonso long term. So mixed reports on Alonso there, as we've been talking about in the podcast. The Tigers hire a new GM from the NHL as they're hiring Blackhawks associate GM Jeff Greenberg, who worked with the president of the Tigers with the Cubs. I do not like when teams hire from other sports, although it worked out with the Blackhawks a while back ago in the Kane Taves era with McDonough. Tommy Pham rips the Mets as he calls out the work ethic. Stephen A. Smith, he had a not-so-great first pitch at Yankee Stadium. People said it was just as bad as 50 Cent. I don't think it was as bad as 50 Cent. I've seen worse first pitches than Stephen A's. So, the Ottawa Senators' $950 million sale is official as the Board of Governors unanimously approved the sale of the team to a group led by Michael Andlauer. This is great for Ottawa, in my opinion. That ownership group in the past was not great, in my opinion. But I get it. Eugene Melnyk had passed away, and this is how this happened. But I'm sure Melnyk was a great person and all, but to me, he was not a great owner of the Ottawa Senators. Just a dysfunctional franchise under his tenure. And now they get new blood here with Michael Andlauer. Serge Ibaka to play overseas as he's grateful after signing a deal with FC Bayern Munich in Germany. The Blazers want a Dame deal before camp starts on October 3rd, so the pressure's on the Blazers, the Miami Heat, and all these other teams that are in play for him. Maybe Philly, who knows? Donovan Mitchell is not expected to sign a new deal in 2023. You're going to be hearing his name in trade rumors again. And the Celtics are not likely to trade Malcolm Brogdon as they are not considering moving him prior to the start of camp. Sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make, and if I'm Boston, I keep him for the time being. So there's some college football players from Louisville that helped after a car accident as police thanked them for helping a flipped car over after a wreck. That's a good gesture. And how about this? Con Newpel, the number 16 ranked national recruit, 5-star wing, commits to Duke. So that's a big get for John Shire. All right, best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Wow, this is like an old school Friday podcast, considering how long this has gone. I'm going to go with college football tonight because it's just easy. And Friday night's best bets have been college football for the most part. I'm scaling everything down to a tenth of a unit this week. And that includes best bet. I love a lot of these college games tonight, and I can only pick one for best bet. I love Wisconsin minus the points against Purdue. I love Virginia getting the points against NC State. And I love San Diego State getting the points against Boise. It's down to those three. And the one I decided to go with is the Badgers minus the 5.5. I'm going to lay a tenth of a unit on it. So Wisconsin minus 5.5 against Purdue. All right. Fab 5 time. We'll start with college. There's a lot of games I love this week. So it's very hard for me to really pick what games I really like because there's so many I like. And this is probably my favorite slate of the year so far. So number one, I'm going to... I thought about taking Colorado plus the points, but the Travis Hunter injury makes me nervous. So I'm going to stay away. Pick number 1. I'm doing it for the second time in 3 weeks. I'm going against Alabama, and I'm taking Mississippi State getting the 7 in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss. Ole Miss getting the points. Pick number 2. I am going to go take Maryland minus 7.5 at Michigan State. I love Maryland. I think Michigan State's a mess right now with the Mel Tucker situation, so I'm going to lay the points. Next, I'm going to take Louisiana Tech plus the points at Nebraska. That is extremely high. And Nebraska, I just think, is overrated. So I'm going to take Louisiana Tech getting points. Pick number 4 of the Fab 5 college football edition. I hinted at it earlier. I'm going to lay 3.5 with Wake again. Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's terrible. So I'm going to lay points with Wake Forest. And pick number 5 of the Fab 5. I am going to go back to the well with the team that I placed an over on yesterday and doing it again. I'm going over 43.5 in App State, Wyoming. App State, East Carolina over worked out for me the other day. So I'm going to go over 43.5 between App State and Wyoming. I know Wyoming has a good defense, but App State's offense, I think, do it alone. And the underdog money line pick of the week, there's a couple nominees for it, so I'm going to go over them. So, Virginia Tech plus 168 at Marshall. Auburn plus 255 at Texas A&M. Ole Miss plus 210 at Alabama. West Virginia plus 184 at home against Texas Tech. Louisiana Tech 8-1 at Nebraska. UTSA plus 920 at Tennessee. Wazoo plus 128 against Oregon State, although I don't usually bet over 3 with the spread with money line unless I have to. Notre Dame plus 125 is an honorable mention too. Same thing with Wazoo. UTEP plus 112 against UNLV. No, because that's under 3.5. And New Mexico State's plus 130. They're also 3. So those are the nominees, but the pick is one I didn't say. So those were the honorable mentions I just said. Obviously, I'm going to go with Eastern Michigan, who's over 2-1, plus 205 at Jacksonville State. I just don't think Jacksonville State's any good, so I'm going Eastern Michigan on the money line, plus 205. All right, and now the NFL Fab 5. NFL Fab 5, I think, is easier than the college Fab 5 this week. There's a lot of big favorites that I like. So pick number 1, the Fab 5. I'm taking the Jaguars minus 8.5 against the Texans. I just think the Jaguars are better than Houston. They should win that game by double digits. No Stingley is a big deal, so I'm laying the points with the Jaguars. Pick number 2, I'm taking an underdog. I'm going with the Commanders getting 6.5 against the Bills. I know it's a ballsy pick, but I'm doing it anyway. I think the Commanders cover. Everyone's going to be on the Bills. And I think the Bills are a little overrated. So I'll give you the Commanders plus 6.5 against the Bills. Commanders won't win. I just think they cover. Pick number 3. I'm going to lay 8.5 with the Ravens against the Colts. Though Anthony Richardson's a big deal. I know it'll be Minshew, but I really just don't trust the Colts. And I like how the Ravens have looked so far this season. Pick number 4. I'm going to lay 6 points with the Seattle Seahawks against the Panthers. I don't think Seattle's that good of a team, but they should be Andy Dalton and the Panthers, so I'm going to lay the 6 of Seattle. And the last pick, I'm going back to the well again, and I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers, getting 2.5 against the Raiders. I picked the Steelers every week so far. They were good to me last week. I expect them to be good to me again this week, so I'm taking the Steelers, getting 2.5 against the Raiders. And my underdog moneyline pick of the week, and this underdog is more than a 3-point dog. They're getting 3.5, and I'm taking the Tennessee Titans at plus 158 to upset the Cleveland Browns. With the Browns missing potentially both tackles and potentially 2 corners and Nick Chubb, I don't trust them. So give me the Titans plus 158 to upset the Cleveland Browns, and I think the Titans can do it in spite of Ryan Tannehill, considering how poor Deshaun Watson has looked so far this season as well. So there you have it for the show. It was a big show. I'm proud. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.